All right, all right. Well, hello there. It is Dr. Siobhan Parat here, founder of Relatable, and I wanted to pop on really quick and share with you three beliefs that are keeping you unhappy in your marriage. And I'm going to get right to them, and then I'm going to explain each one of them in more detail. So the first belief that is keeping you unhappy in your marriage is this belief that if your husband changes, that things will be better in your marriage. If he modifies his behavior, if he does all the things you're wanting him to do, that somehow you will be happy and that that's the solution to your problem. So that's the first belief. The second belief is all around focusing on your problems. And that belief is that things are worse off now than they were before, that somehow things have gone downhill. And when you look back over your shoulder at the past, that those days back in the day are better than what you're experiencing now. So that's another belief that is keeping you stuck. And the third belief is that it takes both of you to make your marriage better. You know, it takes two to make this thing go right. You've heard that song. So there's this belief that if both of you aren't actively working on your marriage to make it better, then it's doomed to remain in this unhappy state for you. So those are the three beliefs. So let me break each one of those down. Now, the first one, that you have to see a change in your husband, that he has to do something different in order for you to be happy. And the reason that this belief keeps you stuck is because all of the power belongs to your husband. So he is now responsible for your happiness, that what he does, what he says, how he responds to you is the only way that you can be happy. And that if he's not responding and acting in the way that you want, then you can't be happy. So when you really think about that, you have to ask yourself, like, what sense does that make? What sense does it make to give your emotions over to him, literally on a silver platter, that he's the one, you know, like you're a puppet to him, that if he's not happy or if that he's not complimenting you or paying you attention, then you can't be happy, right? And so the work that I do is all around giving you empowerment, right? Making you empowered to realize that your happiness is your responsibility. Your joy is yours. And it's not for him to take away from you, that it really is your decision and that happiness is available to you at any moment you choose. And so the way that you avoid or that you get over this belief that you can only be happy when he's acting a certain way is you really enter into a place of acceptance. You enter a place of acceptance of seeing the situation for what it is and focusing in on what's within your own control, the things that you can take responsibility for, your emotions, your thoughts, and your reactions. And so that's what's going to lead to your own personal happiness, how you can be content in any situation, find the bright side, find something to be grateful for. That's going to lead to the happiness that you want in your marriage, not the external circumstances, not him changing his ways. Okay, so that's number one. The second belief, and I have notes, that's why I'm looking down, but the second belief is that you sort of begin to think that now, right? So if you're not happy in your marriage, there's this belief that things are worse now than they were before. And what that creates is this longing for the past, where you're always sort of looking behind you at the way things were. And the problem there is you focus on the problem. You focus on what's not going right about your marriage, and you're comparing it to your perception of the way you thought things were in the past. And so now there's nothing for you to be excited about because it's not like it was. It's worse off. And all you do is focus on the problems. You focus on what's not going right. You focus on the ways he's falling short. And it doesn't really allow you and enable you to look for solutions because you are in the past. You're stuck in the past wanting things to be the way they were before instead of looking for the solutions that can get you to a better place moving forward, right? Regardless of what's happening now. And so this belief that things are worse off now will always have you losing, right? Because you can't ever go back in time. But what I want you to do is to now focus on the solutions, right? So what can you do now? What's a step you can take to be happier now, right? And open up your mind to consider that the challenges that you face in your marriage right now are actually the best fertile ground for you to create an even stronger marriage, right? That the joy and the happiness you think you felt back in the day will pale in comparison to what you can create, which starts in your mind, to what you can create moving forward. Okay, so eliminate this belief that things are worse now than they were ever before, right? And really look forward with optimism for what you can create. Look for the solutions instead of spending all your time focusing on the problem, okay? And then the third belief that's keeping you stuck and unhappy in your marriage is this belief that it takes both of you to work on your marriage in order for things to get better. Now, that's true to some degree, but I think what people always forget when thinking about things that way is that what's happening between you and your husband is a combination of what you're doing and how he's responding and what he's doing and how you're responding, right? It's an exchange. I like to think of it as a dance, right? And so if he takes one step forward and you guys are doing like a tango or a cha-cha, then you have to take one step back. Or if you take one step forward, he has to take one step back. And if you change any of the dance moves, the other person has to respond, right? It's literally like an equation, right? So if you right now are in a place where 1 + 1 always equals 2, right? Where you respond in a certain way or you confront him in a certain way and he always responds the way he does, and then you always have the outcome you have, then the only way to actually change the outcome is to do things differently. And it only takes one of you to start that process. But the problem is, so many times people sit around like bumps in a log waiting for the husband to change. They tell themselves that if he's not going to be putting forth the effort, I'm not going to put forth the effort. And then guess what? Nobody puts forth the effort. 6 months, 2 years down the line, you're just as miserable, if not more, than you were before. And so really what I want you to do is to eliminate this notion that it takes two to make this marriage better. I want you to now train yourself to think it takes you, right? I'm telling you, it takes you. It takes you to start because someone has to start, right? If you're in this unhappy and stagnant place, someone's got to make that first move. And why can't it be you? Like, why are you relegating your happiness to him, waiting for him to change, right? Why are you still looking over your shoulder at what was rather than creating what can be? And it starts with you, right? Yes, it takes two, but you change your step in the right direction and he's going to eventually follow, because by you becoming more of the wife that you know you can be, by you becoming a person that makes you proud, by you changing your mindset, the way you communicate with him and the way you respond to him, he's going to have no other choice but to be different because he's now responding to a totally different person. But if you continue on with your same old ways, your same old patterns, your same old habits, your same old way of thinking, guess what you're going to get? The same old thing you've been getting. And that's why you're unhappy, because you're waiting, you're putting all of the power into him and what he does. And it's about you, honey. It is always about you and about the story you tell yourself, your own mindset, your own excuses that you let hold you back from doing the things you know you need to do, right? You spend more of your time blaming him and looking at what he's doing wrong than turning that mirror on yourself and identifying the things that you can be doing differently, right? And so it's not enough even to just know what you need to be doing differently, but you've actually got to put the things into practice that you're learning, right? I can't tell you how many times I talk with women who've watched my live streams, read my blogs, listened to my podcasts, read my emails, take copious notes. And then I check in with them weeks later and they're like, yeah, I need to probably go back and look at those notes. They haven't put it to practice. They haven't applied anything. And so what use is the information if you don't do anything with it? So in this live stream right now, I've given you 3 beliefs that are holding you back that I want you to change. And you've got to start practicing those changes if you really want to be happy in your marriage, because they work. And you have to be consistent, and you have to be persistent. Okay? It doesn't just magically happen by itself. You've got to put one foot in front of the other, be intentional about the things you think, and be aware of how you're contributing to your own unhappiness. And so let me just do a really quick recap of the beliefs that are keeping you stuck and share with you again what you need to do to change it, right? So the first one is this belief that you can't be happy until your husband changes. Absolutely not true. Happiness is an inside job. It's your responsibility, and you can create happiness by the way you think, by your mindset, by your mentality, by your attitude, right? Just think on good things, look for the good in situations, and you'll feel better. It's automatic. Number 2, the second belief that's keeping you stuck and unhappy is this belief that things are worse now than they were before. You're looking over your shoulder to this perception that life was so much better back in the day. And the problem there is that it doesn't allow you to look for solutions. You're stuck in the problem, focusing all on what's going wrong rather than looking forward at what you can create and how what you can create can actually be even better than what you're thinking was so great in the past. And then the third belief that's keeping you unhappy in your marriage is this belief that it takes 2 to make the marriage better, right? What it really takes is it takes someone making that first step. And that's you, right? You're the one watching this live stream. You're the one that's unhappy. And so it takes you to turn it around, you making that first step to work on the things within yourself that you know you need to work on, right? And once you become a different person, you create a whole different reality and environment in your marriage so that your husband can then be a different person too. But it starts with someone, and it might as well start with you, okay? So that's what I wanted to come on and share with you today. Now, some of you will listen to this and, you'll make a mental note and then you'll go about your day. And, I could come back on tomorrow, 2 days from now, and nothing will be different for you, right? There's some of you who will really take this to heart, and congratulations to you, who will really think about what I said and, let it marinate and actually begin taking some steps to do things differently in your marriage. And I applaud you. And I could check back in with you a week, 2 weeks, a month from now. And I'm pretty sure the conversation will be, I tried it, but I just can't seem to do it consistently. I've had many conversations like that. And then there's some of you who are like, yeah, everything she's saying is true. I've been trying some of this on my own, and I just haven't been getting very far, right? And maybe I actually need a little bit of help with this. Maybe I don't have to keep thinking that I should just be able to figure this out on my own. Maybe there is actually help and support and resources and a system and steps and people that can actually help me make these changes that I want to see in my marriage and in my life. And if that's you, then I really want to encourage you to reach out to me. You can do it right here on Facebook by sending me a message here, or you can visit the website that is listed here with this post. I'm actually starting a group coaching program. It's called Happily Married, because I believe that anyone can be happily married, because being happily married is all about your mindset, right? Being happily married is a state of mind. But so many times we get confused that we can only be happy in certain circumstances. We can only be happy when our husband is acting a certain way. And as I've just shared here, that's absolutely not true. That you can create whatever it is you want in your marriage by working on your mindset, by working on the ways you interact with and respond to your husband. And that takes practice, right? Because you've been responding and interacting with him in the way you have for however many years, and you've been getting the results that you've been getting, which right now is making you unhappy. So let's change that, right? If you're interested in getting some support and getting some coaching and getting a step-by-step plan and getting some accountability and some tools to really help you make that lasting change, then I'm here to help you. And I would love to have a conversation with you. I would love to talk with you more about this group coaching program, which again, you can find out all about on the website that's listed here with this post. So whatever you do, right, take a step and make a commitment. Make a commitment to banish those beliefs that are keeping you stuck, because you don't have to be stuck. There's a part of you that wants to be happy, and all you have to do is tap into the skills and the tools to get you there. And they exist. I'm living proof. My clients are living proof. Now, if this is the first time that you're actually seeing me and you're like, who is this woman? I am Dr. Siobhan Farad. I am a relationship expert and marriage coach, and I help women create happier, more loving marriages by providing them with the mindset and skills to do so. And we do that all without having to make over the husband. So whenever I talk with my clients and I'm asking them how things are going, they're like, yeah, we're arguing less. We're doing so much better. And then they're like, but honestly, my husband hasn't changed much, right? And I'm like, well, that's the point. That's the point. They're always surprised that it actually works, that their husband can be doing the same things he's always done, and yet the difference is within themselves. They have greater peace. They feel more connected and close to him. They are less bothered by things, right? And so you have to ask yourself, like, what would that mean to you? What would that mean to you to not get so upset all the time, to be in control of your emotions, to not overreact, to not get into these petty arguments over things that don't even matter, right? How would your life be different if all of that was just eliminated? I'm sure it would be a lot better, and I'm sure you would be a lot happier. So apply the principles, get the help you need, and stay connected, right? Stay connected to me, and I would love to have you consider joining my group coaching program. It's incredibly affordable because I don't want price to be an issue for you getting the happy and loving marriage that you actually want. So I look forward to hearing back from you. I hope this live stream has been helpful to you. Please share it if you know of anyone that could benefit from thinking about things differently, right? So thank you very much for tuning in, and I will be back with you sometime very soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.